on Saturday, a game that is going to be impactful in the race for the postseason in the AFC, the Texans and the Colts. Winner gets at least a wild card berth. Loser is out. If the Jaguars lose, the winner of Saturday night's game will be the number 4 seed and the AFC South champion. Of course, the reward for that is hosting the Browns in the wild card round. But just get there first and then worry about the Browns coming to town afterward. Texans-Colts, a great game for Saturday night. It's got consequences, and it gives a national audience, Peter, their first look, better late than never, at C.J. Stroud.
And, I saw the note online yesterday that it seems impossible in this day and age, but this is basically the first game all year, I guess, other than their one game on Thursday night this year. This is the first game this year that they have not played Sunday at 1:00. And, so it'd be great for America to see C.J. Stroud. And look, Mike, there's one other thing, and I know only, award nerds like me will think of this, but I think this has gone from the Offensive Rookie of the Year being C.J. Stroud's award to, in the last month, I think Puka Nacua might have inched ahead of him. And either that, but at the very least, it's a competitive race. This is a chance on national TV for C.J. Stroud to make his closing argument. And again, I realize that C.J. Stroud hears that, he's probably rolling his eyes. But, at some point, on NFL Honors Thursday before the Super Bowl, when he's walking the red carpet and picking up the hardware, he's going to be pretty happy he won Offensive Rookie of the Year, if indeed he does. But I do think that's one other part of this game that kind of interests me. And honestly, Mike, I think the other part is every game, really, for Gardner Minshew is a prove-it game. And, if Gardner Minshew can beat the great C.J. Stroud and to beat that oppressive, at times anyway, Houston defense, it's a plus in his column too. And it just puts him on the road to perhaps getting a better job next year. The only one thing I would say about the fact that about what Indianapolis is playing for here too, I think that in many ways, the team that Chris Ballard wanted to build is a team that can win and be a playoff team regardless of instability at quarterback. And I think it would be a point of pride for this Indianapolis organization if somehow, some way they made the postseason in any way that they could, if they made the postseason without having their pride and joy, heir to the throne quarterback, Anthony Richardson, for 85% of this year.
And, I think that whoever wins this game, their coach becomes, and I'm struggling with this, and the AP doesn't want us to say what our final decisions are going to be until after the season is over, and I get that. I mean, right now, it's tough to not pick Kevin Stefanski as Coach of the Year when you consider what he's done and what that team has endured by way of 4 different starting quarterbacks in this rebirth of Joe Flacco, and the defense is dominant because Stefanski hired Jim Schwartz to come in and run it, assuming that he's the one that made that decision. Sometimes it's organizational. But Shane Steichen of the Colts, D'Amico Ryans of the Texans. The Texans are the one team that I think if we would have done a poll of this before the season, they'd be the first team we'd identify in the AFC as having no chance of making the playoffs. And here they are on the brink of making the playoffs.
Absolutely right.
Ryans, to me, until we saw this late season Joe Flacco thing in Cleveland, Ryans, to me, was Coach of the Year if the Texans made it to the playoffs. And now, even if they make it, it's going to be tough. But I think between the two, Steichen or Ryans, whoever wins this game on Saturday night, is at least second on the ballot, if not first on the ballot for Coach of the Year.
Yeah, and Mike, I think you could look at it in this way. Let's say, for the sake of argument, Houston wins this game. What's a bigger shock? Houston winning 10 or Cleveland winning 11 or 12? Houston winning 10 is the biggest shock in the NFL this year, and it's not even close for what's number 2. So I think a vote for D'Amico Ryans is fair, correct. I don't mind it at all. A vote for Bobby Slowick is very fair for the assistant coach of the year too. And look, there's a lot of great candidates for that assistant coach award, but this game's important for a lot of reasons. And again, I know nobody wants to hear the awards, but Mike, I'm telling you, it's going to have a bearing on the vote that I turn in, as one of the AP voters. It's going to have a bearing on my vote that I'll give them next, whatever, Tuesday or Wednesday.
And to address your point about the Browns, going into the season, I said the Browns are the biggest wild card this year because we didn't know how Deshaun Watson was going to look after only playing 6 games last year and 0 games the year before that. We just really didn't know how this was going to work. There weren't clear expectations for the Browns. So if you told me before the season they're going to win 11 games, I'd say, okay, that's not nuts. That's not crazy. I can see them win 11 games. But I don't think anybody saw them win 11 games the way they won the 11 games. With Deshaun Watson in and out of the lineup, and then it's P.J. Walker, and then it's Dorian Thompson-Robinson, and then it's Joe Flacco off the couch November 20. He wasn't signed to the practice squad until November 20, and they've caught lightning in a bottle late in the season to get to 11 wins and create this vibe that they're ready to go to the playoffs and kick ass when they get there. That's what gives Kevin Stefanski the context that I think gives him a little edge over Steichen or Ryans, depending upon what happens Saturday night. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.